The breaking news tonight, this federal judge ruling former Trump White House counsel Don McGahn must testify before the Democratic Congress. This decision could have far-reaching implications, including shaping whether other White House officials, current and former, are allowed to duck witness testimony, including in this impeachment probe. All of this comes as the heat is getting hotter on another potential witness, or in the SDNY, a potential defendant. The Wall Street Journal reporting new subpoenas issued seeking information on Rudy Giuliani's consulting business as a parade of witnesses have publicly accused him in these hearings of coordinating the Ukraine bribery plot. Behind the scenes, while another impeachment witness is also turning on Giuliani, indicted Ukrainian-linked associate Lev Parnas is transitioning from a Giuliani client to a defendant, potentially flipping. Look at these new reports, Parnas giving Congress video and audio recordings that include, allegedly, Giuliani and Trump, according to ABC. As if all of that wasn't enough, also new reports it was Parnas who helped arrange secret meetings in Ukraine for the top Republican on this same committee, Devin Nunes. Allegations are that Nunes hid all of that from Adam Schiff, a report that suggests a major conflict of interest for Nunes, who stands basically accused of trying to execute parts of the very Trump plot this committee is investigating. Nunes prepping to huddle with two Ukrainian prosecutors about material that might have helped Donald Trump's re-election campaign. Nunes is denying this. He says the reports are part of a campaign of a, quote, totally corrupt media. He's also been dodging questions about the details. The White House began the impeachment hearings trying to stonewall, but as we've seen tonight in the McGahn ruling and with these other individuals who are talking and cooperating, in many ways, the Stonewall strategy is failing before our eyes, and the pressure is increasing on key people, including, of course, Giuliani. Now, I can tell you he was back out on TV touting his good relationship with the president, while also stating he has some sort of, quote, insurance against his own client, Donald Trump.
You can assume that I talk to him early and often. Yeah. And have a very, very good relationship with him. And all of these comments, which are totally insulting. Yeah. I mean, I've seen things written like, he's going to throw me under the bus. Right. When they say that, I say, he isn't, but I have insurance.
But I have insurance. Look, if you take that insurance threat as literal or serious, well, it's literally potential blackmail and a likely ethics violation for a lawyer to make against his own client. Now, some of that may be more minor than the actual larger criminal exposure facing people who were involved in the alleged bribery conspiracy. Giuliani now insists those references were sarcastic and not a direct threat to Trump, but then he also cryptically warned that evidence will come to light immediately if he disappears. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.